Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, into game 1 out of 3, on the best out of 3 here. For team number 1 on the left side, we do have Illuminati. We have Mob on Rook, Prego with Ace, Riser on Moxie, Cakes with Minerva, Ruin on Bastion, and up against them is Team Kaizen, Techie SO on Ace, Delusion with Ray, Ryzen on Rook, Gulliver on Bastion, and Squeaky Clean on the Malady. Of course, we do have that 5-man train of pain rolling down here by the Sindara pit. We have the Monkey Man sitting in there going, I don't know what's going on here, guys, but it's some serious business. Look at him. He's looking over there straight to the right. He's watching him roaming. Then he looks over to the left. He's like, oh, no one's going to counter this one. As we have behind the tier 2 tower, both Gulliver and Squeaky sitting. I don't think they can see exactly what's going on. It's that, well, no, Riser did poke himself out. Now Mob pokes himself out. They know there's some activity in the bushes going on. They have the visions. And Ryzen by himself, he could be the one that gets spotted out if they run and check all the bushes in the lanes, but I don't believe they're going to play this like World of Tanks where the artillery shoots around every single bush there could be to get that first blood. But they're still going for it. Look at that roam.
They want it.
And the bad part is they're still within tower viewing, I do believe, as the lanes will now break apart. Riser going up against Ryzen. That's going to be an interesting lane. Now, who do you think is going to win out of that, Moxie versus Rook?
That's tough to say, because both of them have great last hit potential. Rook has the Fell Blade, which is more power, but Moxie's got that Glacial Gem, so he can keep spamming spells. I think it really depends on how many times Moxie will land his Ball Lightning. If he can get that down quite a few times and hits Rook a bit, he'll be in a good position. If not, well, we'll see.
Most definitely, and as we get into this lineup, we do have a Malady Bastion going up against a Malady Ace combination at the mid. Malady Ace, known for their double slow spin sickle, has a high damage output potential, but the Malady Bastion, of course, Bastion being a lot tankier than Ace with those bracers, also with the Zydek charge being him a little bit more feasible. Instead of the slow, he gets the stun, and of course his slow coming from the Chosen One, which some people say is still a little bit too hard of a slow. I think it's his balance, because you can outrun him before that slow starts to proc. It is a 1 second after you hear the boom gonga of your death that you can really outrun it. So not 110% sure there. Just make sure you get some spring boots or extra mobility there. Though Cakes landing up a great whirlwind, countered off by Squeaky. Avalanche and Spin Sickle coming in. Gulliver trapped under the Dark Storm from Cakes. Definitely a very strong showing out here. While in the top lane, Delusion pushing up with the Ray Ruin, getting just casual last hits with the Bastion. Techie's going to have to be very, very careful. He's going to get caught out by Run, though I do believe with the Ray instead of the Rook there is a lot more CC potential, especially with that bullpen that will come out here ever so shortly, as I can't even click on Delusion and get anything to pop up. I guess I have to pin this again. Pin all the things each and every time. And at the bottom lane, Riser going to be going down to Ryzen. First blood, excellent use of the grappling hook there. Level 3 has that Fell Blade. Looks to be a stock Fell Blade, as there are not any extra abilities attached to that one. So using the stock item still very, very good, as Gulliver takes another smash of the Spin Sickle around to those Dragon Wings. Unfortunately, though, it didn't get off enough damage, as Cakes with another excellent Whirlwind Dark Storm on cooldown. As you saw, he used that whenever the Spin Sickle and Avalanche procced off. But Gulliver still taking way, way too much damage from this combination at the mid, as Riser is being pushed back behind the tower now. And at the top lane, still not too much to talk about. So we're going to hand it over here to the Prince to tell us exactly what he thinks about this middle lane.
Middle lane's interesting. I think Gulliver's getting a little too competent. He's using golden bracers all the time. He keeps popping it when it's almost off cooldown all the time.
Oh,
so
definitely.
I'm not sure.
Look at the Spin Sickle and all the damage is proccing on. That's why he's having to proc his golden bracers, trying to mitigate just the CC and everything else is coming out. I would have it switched up where you have him moving around, just stay in experience range, and have Squeaky grab those last hits, because he's definitely in a lot better position being arranged than having the Bastion go in there. I mean, he should know by now. He's going to take way too much damage, and at level 6, it's going to be a GG blast coming out from both of those heroes.
Or if he's going to keep going into melee range, at least use Breath of the Oracle so he can get some damage on. Not only get last hits, but also hit the enemy players as well.
Definitely, and he has level 2 Breath of the Oracles.
Failing.
But it's just not doing enough. They're grabbing that healing rod first, though he does get a great didect charge, holding Cakes into that Dark Storm that was out there from Squeaky, though. He did get a Spin Sickle pushing him back yet again, so a little bit of trouble out there for Gulliver. And also up in the top lane, Ruin and Mob in a great position. They're starting to ramp up their GPM in the high 400s, putting Techie SO at 317 and Delusion at 324, so definitely going to start making a difference there when it comes into that 5 and 6 minute mark. You want to be in that 400 GPM as soon as possible. It's possible to stay in the 400s beginning at the 2 minute and 15 second mark if you get every last hit on the creeps, which, as you can see, pretty much Mob and Ruin are doing.
I would expect Delusion to have be able to keep the GPM up more with Ray. He could really be using those mines a little more to help last hit and harass at the same time. But he's not really doing that. He's kind of sitting back, but that's because he doesn't have any sort of mana regeneration.
Right. Gulliver being slowed so much by the Dark Storm and Whirlwind combination along with that Avalanche coming out there. Of course, Prego does have tops. We were talking about tops there. He has... Oh, no, he's not using tops, is he? I can't tell because it keeps hiding behind him. Yes, he is using tops. Leveled 4 tops to be exact, as Ruin gets a great didect charge up into the bottom. Delusion in a lot of trouble, drops the bullpen, but he gets taken out by Mob as well. Of course, it's a super slow that comes off of cooldown every 90 seconds, I believe, whenever you're at level 5 with your tops there. And that, with the Avalanche along with the Dark Storm, brings you to an utter crawl, as now Prego becomes a victim of the Dark Storm. Squeaky not having any survivability at all, though he pops up that health rod. Very smart choice there. And Techie SO going ham on the tower defense there. Avalanche pops up. Techie only having warp boots. That's going to put him in a severe disadvantage. But Delusion can't really spawn the burrow bots, as he went with, the emergency survivability there, which I understand. I mean, you have Bastion, who's got the Zydek charge, also has that level 5 tops in there, so it can bring you down to a crawl, allowing Breath of Oracles and Mob to get into position with the grappling hook. But not having the Glacial Gem or any other mana regen items means no Burrowbot spam, or at least you really don't want to.
Well, the thing is, he leveled Shockfield over Burrowbots or Freeze Ray, which is kind of weird because the Shockfield's awesome. It doesn't do that much damage. It's there for the stun, and the stun is only increased to 1.5 seconds at max level. So I'm not sure if I would really place that as like the top priority of leveling up, but we'll see.
Most definitely, and as you saw, Ryzen got pushed out from under his tower. Riser, of course, using the Moxie's Ball Lightning to push up the lane. Already has catastrophe, level 8 sitting there. Mob wants to get a gank off Delusion, putting up that defensive shock field. Now Cakes being trapped in another Dark Storm. Cakes is getting a little bit too low for comfort as well. We do have the Bedlam Bolts off of cooldown for both the Maladies. We have Chosen One by Bastion, and Chosen One versus Ace in the Hole. As long as Bastion doesn't take too much damage, his Chosen One proc will do some amazing work compared to that Ace in the Hole, which really would be able to get the kill on Squeaky Clean, as he is sitting very, very low. And the Gulliver comes up to the top, popping the Chosen One on top of Mob. Mob having to run away. Now we have the counter Chosen One pop out from Gulliver as well. Excuse me, by Ruin as well. Now Gulliver diving on top of Mob, great didect charge, but now he's going to take the auto attacks from Ruin. They got Mob low, not able to proc on the kill, and this might be Techie SO going down to Ruin as well, having to move straight back under there, and that leaves Squeaky down here all by his lonesome to try and defend the middle lane. While it was a great attempt at a gank, they almost have Mob close but no cigar, and we are not playing horseshoes and hand grenades, so that almost does not equal a kill.
Yeah, like I said, they had a great chance to get Mod, but they failed it, like I said, because Delusion didn't have much damage with his Shockfield kind of build he's going out with. But we'll see. I felt like if he had Mines or Freeze Ray, they would have easily been able to burst him down, but it's, nah.
But no, and there we go. Mob already picking up the early Dragon Shield and Ruin with the GG crest. Let's see if we can take a look at least some of the stats on it. No, we cannot. It does have extra power and provides an 22% boost at least on the armor there with that plus 22 static. And there we go, Techie moving back in there. Great defensive spin sickle. And at the middle lane, Gulliver taking a spin sickle as well. And at the bottom, Riser pushing Ryzen out from the tower. So that's going to put Ryzen in some pretty horrible 377 GPM range versus Riser, who's now at 428. So while we had Rook get an early kill, using that extra range on the ability is definitely going to put this Moxie in the tip-top position. We're going to need Gulliver to gank as soon as possible. I assume he will as soon as the 24 seconds is off a cooldown on the Chosen One. though, if he gets initiated on like this. Great Whirlwind as well. Counter Whirlwind coming out. Bedlam Bolt, ace in the hole. Not enough. Look at that clutch healing rod pop, keeping Gulliver in the fight. But there's trouble on the horizon as Riser comes through. He does have the jump boost. Cake's going in there as well with the Dark Storm. He wants to get it. Catastrophe being popped as well. Gulliver mitigating as much of the damage as possible now. Squeaky trying to get a kill as well. He might go down as we have that auto attack being pressed up. That is a Dillity double kill coming out. Oh, with a Death Ray sniping out. Mr. Prego Delusion says, "Good day, sir." Good day.
One thing I was going to note is that, nope. Fine. I was going to note that Prego picked up Scythe, and he has not started ganking yet. What time are we at right now?
9:05.
9:05, and he has not started ganking. That's the first 2 kills we've seen, so he needs to decide that he needs to start roaming, not go back to the lane like he's doing now. But he needs to start roaming, getting these kills to make sure that he can get Scythe online ASAP. You can't just pick it up and play passively and hope for good things to happen.
That's right, and meanwhile, at Facebook Farmville bottom lane, that put Bryson back in the position of 390 GPM, up from 337, though he's going to be in a lot of trouble as we have both Riser and Cakes coming down. He does have that fully leveled Razor Pet, so he can evade it, but he goes in, dropping it, misses the Deliverance, Bedlam Bolt to the face, and along with a Dark Storm proc and a few auto attacks in the Z-Zap, he is out of there. Riser picking up that kill. Excellent play as Ruin goes in there. Zydeck charge not proccing on top of Delusion, but we have Delusion going back over here to it. Drops the bullpen. Hopefully he can make it out alive, but Mob's going in the tower. Ham mode activate as Gulliver comes in there. Chosen One pops on top of Mob. Goes with the hide and seek, but too little too late. That dragon's going to take him out of there. Techie SO feeling that he wants it. Gets another spin signal off, but Ruin too fast with those inertia boots. Great counter pick up there, and all due to Gulliver porting up with the warp boots.
Did you use the warp boots?
He used the warp boots.
One thing I liked about Delusion's that what he did, his timing was almost off a little bit, but he saw the blue beam coming in. He dropped his shock shield right on top of the mob that was being ported in on. So if he were to teleport in, he would get stunned and be kind of out of the fight for a few seconds before he could actually do something, which is a really cool move you can do with Ray and a couple other heroes. You can do it with Malady as well. Put like a Dark Cloud on whichever the eye comes down. It's one of the reasons why I like AoE heroes so much in this game. You can kind of negate the use of certain items like warp boots with that.
Very, very true. And this is going to be the first Baldir going down of the day. Ruin, Cakes, and Mob going in there along with Prego. They are spotted out though, Gulliver and Squeaky. They know what's happening though. Baldir is already down. Illuminati taking that with so much ease. But Team Kaizen down here at the bottom, look at that Ryzen. He's already got that demonic fang there. He's in a pretty good position once more. 396 GPM, not shabby at all. It's just going to depend upon the rest of his team if they can keep their farm. Ooh, no, man, look at Techie SO, 277 GPM, 346, 354, 327. They all need to get into the 400 range if they're wanting to make it out of there. Because remember, folks, this is a team game, not a I Am Legend game. And the rest of the average farm over here for Illuminati still sitting in that 479, almost 480 average for their entire team on that GPM. Definitely putting them in a power play position here as we enter into this mid-tier 1 going under attack. Great defensive Breath of Oracles, and there we go. Squeaky picking him up with no side deck charge. Bedlam Bolt Avalanche to the face along with the spin sickle. Pick up a very quick kill on Squeaky. Now we have Techie going in there as well. Absolute denied counter side deck charge. Catastrophe going out as well. Bullpen being dropped, but not enough as the Chosen One comes down. Deliverance on top of Gulliver, taking him out. Great use of it by Mob all the way from the top lane. Wham, bam, thank you, man. That is a triple trade along with a tower for Illuminati.
Very good job on their end. You saw, like you said, Rook shooting that arrow, that Deliverance down all the way top lane. You don't see a lot of Rooks doing that in pub play because they're kind of worried they're going to miss. But you got to take the shot. Maybe you'll hit it, maybe you won't. If your team's doing well and they're all like grouped up properly, you'll hit it. So, got to take those chances. It works.
All too true. And now we do have a Crystalline Shift coming out onto the Malady. That will help her out quite a bit. But we've seen, of course, the most successful Maladies using that Wind Rush combination that usually comes out on Illuminati side or Vex Gaming, depending upon, their hero composition. They always have custom items fit for any situation, living like kings here while they play 20 or 30 hours a day, much like my Korean brethren for StarCraft 2.
I know, like 30 hours, it is pretty impressive. I mean, they break the laws of time and physics and stuff. It's pretty good.
True that. Now, Delusion's coming up. He's going to spot out Ruin. Ruin along with Prego, though, in great positions. The only members that can be caught out right now are Techie SO. He's desperately trying to get his GPM back up. He's still sitting at 287. Definitely where you not wanting to be, at the bottom of the barrel here. Still sitting closer and closer and closer to everyone being in 500s. Prego's the only man holding under that 500 mark for Illuminati here in game number 1. Mob just pushing up. Easy farm, easy life on the Rook, though. We do have Ryzen coming back down here. Ryzen with a lot less farm. I mean, you can tell the difference here between these Rooks as we have it. Big old Tech SO coming in there. Great use of the Avalanche coming in. Oh, Mob sitting very, very low. Though Squeaky comes out. Ultimates that illusion with the Bedlam Bolt. Not able to find him. Razor Pet 2 OP still with the super cool dodges. As we have Cakes coming up here. Misses the illusion with the Whirlwind. Proxima with a little tiny touch of that Dark Storm, but with 4 members of Illuminati coming up here into the mid, that's going to be 1 dead tower. Do not get caught out. Team Kaizen, they will punish you. They'll Mob back down here, getting killed by Ryzen. Thought he could go ham on him. Unfortunately, he found out that, well, this Rook still has a few tricks up his sleeve as Baldir is being secured yet again. Gulliver going to try and dive up at the Golden Gate. Gonna make him go around it. Give him just enough time. And I'm waiting for the Zydek charge to go in for the initiate. Nope. Nope. Not going to.
Gulliver has... What does Gulliver have? Warp, okay.
Gulliver does have the warp, which allowed him to get those skills that they had at the top lane. Techie SO finally has that Dragon Shield, 232 shield, has a little bit of that custom coolness going on. Hopefully that'll make his ace a little bit more viable. We're looking for him to get a little bit, maybe a dampening cloak or some extra damage coming out since he has those warp boots. Most definitely want to get that Infernal brand, but again, setting at 282 GPM now, he's kind of fluxing around the 280s, 290s. It's going to be a long way to the top when you don't have that gold.
He definitely does need the magic armor because he's going against Malady and Moxie, 2 of the best spellcasters in the game, and Moxie's already got that Crystalline to Dragon Shield combo, so he's going to be able to do a lot of damage and keep dealing it out without having to worry about it.
Right, oh, look at Cakes hitting that double Whirlwind, Dark Storm, along with the Bedlam Bolt, but countered out by Squeaky using that healing rod. Gulliver dropping that, no, Rune dropping down the Chosen One. Gulliver needing to dive out, but he's slowed. Ooh, couldn't get the counter off either. Then delivers Sprox on Squeaky. This is going to be another kill. Auto attack Whirlwind and slam dunk Avalanche picking up that kill in the middle lane. Mob yet again proving deliverance worth its weight in gold. And at the top lane, Riser being pursued by Techie. No, not able to grab it. And that's going to put the Moxie in position to throw off a ball lightning. He can catch up. There we... Oh, no, canceled. Canceled it. Oh, nope, missed it. Needs a Z-Zap. It's so close. And no cigar. Defense tower going down. And this is going to be pressure on the generator at the middle lane. Ryzen moving on in. Gulliver there as well for the defense. Not able to capture that. Techie SO was very, very low. Almost had the Moxie. But I don't know if Team Kaizen is going to have it in game number 1. They've just been collapsed on too hard. While their lane composition was alright, I would definitely put that ace in the middle lane and then put the other guys at the top. Definitely that swap there. As Ryzen got just absolutely taken out there by Ruin and Mob. Delusion going to be the second guy going down. Mob grabbing a double kill, putting him into 539 GPM. And with those 3 items, guess what? That's going to be a wound splitter.
That's going to be dangerous, like we saw last game. He's going to jump on people and quickly cut them down. I think one of the problems is that definitely with... oh my gosh, I forgot. Their team name.
Oh my gosh.
Kill me.
Illuminati on the left, Kaizen on the right.
Kaizen doesn't have a lot of damage going out right now. If you see Illuminati's name with bringing with Moxie and also with Malady, they're kind of got that early game push. Now that it's getting later in the game, they have more damage. With Rook picking up that wound splitter soon. But you don't see Team Kaizen, they don't have as much damage. You see Ray, he doesn't have the Mind's leveled up. You see that Gulliver has, what does he have? He's got Breath of the Oracle leveled, and he's going to risk like you should do, but he doesn't have any other items besides that. Same thing with Squeaky, he only has a Crystalline Shield. They need to get more damage, otherwise they're just going to have a hard time killing anybody on the team at this point.
It's very true, and while they tried to counter the Mox, they weren't able to. Zydek charge going in by Ruin, drops the Breath of Oracle to be encountered out there, but now Bedlam Bolt on top of Squeaky, that's going to take him out. Techie SO trying to do it, got it, the spin out, but not able to do that as well. The Bolt being dropped, there goes the death ray as well, and now Gulliver takes the absolute deliverance to the face from Mob, and he gets the ace in the hole. Prego picking up that kill, and now Ryzen, there he goes, trying to dodge it out, misses the catastrophe. Very, very strong play by him as well. But Ruin sees the blood. He wants to go in there. GG crest and all. Not going to grab it. Quick generator. Don't even need the big old monkey man at the mid. They're going to send him straight onto the top. And there goes the taunt. Great team play. Super cool collapse coming out there by Illuminati. And you know what the name of this game is? Holla holla get dollar.
Definitely winning on the GPM front. They're just playing well overall, and
already
like
peaking the 600 in the 18-minute mark in the game, and another Baldir being secured. Kaizen's going to have to stop the monkey and also reposition themselves to try and capitalize on these team fights, though I believe right now also, if we had an XP chart, we would see that there is at least a 2,537 difference in XP, judging by the levels on the board. And yes, I have looked at the hard values, and I can calculate this.
That's pretty good math. I can't do that. I'm going to leave that to you from now on.
You know what? After 5 years of Dota and doing the stats for it while casting it, you learn these values rather quickly. It's definitely not me data mining SG's game to figure this stuff out.
Sure.
Oh, yes. But this is going to be
right there. That's a lot more damage on Ruin.
What is this position? Oh, they're going to try to come in from the back. Oh, I see what you're doing, but you get countered out there by Cakes, and there goes the counter again as well. Bedlam Bolt along with the ace in the hole, picking it up, and now Rising out to dive over there from Mob, popping it up, but he gets caught out yet again. Had to use the hidden secret trap on the Golden Gate Bridge, and he's out of there. Knocked out of the park. This is the Mets going on the Yankee Stadium, diving straight down in there as the monkey goes in the mid. This is going to be G Jizzle. 19 minutes 42 seconds in the game as the taunts come out there. BM left and right. But still, great job for game number 1. We're going to screen cap this and get ready for game number 2 here in just a few moments. And as soon as I get this screen cap done, we're going to have the Prince tell us a little bit about what he thought went on with these team fights, along with these item compositions, and what Kaizen needs to do here in game number 2 to take us to game number 3.